I allowed emotions to drive my actions. And what I did, I fully admit was wrong, and I have learned from my decision, and I won't ever do it again. It's part of just living. We can all make a mistake. It's once you make that mistake and you recognize it, you need to be able to admit it. And it's not easy to admit that you make a mistake or that you're wrong.
This case should never have come to trial.
I don't think it's fair to call my clients frauds. Because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Your Honor, we would like to withdraw our plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries, of a sham.
If we are to have faith in justice, we need only to believe in ourselves.
And the truth shall set you free!
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Oh, guilty, but with a real good excuse.
I think the truth will come forth.
You can't handle the truth!
Hello, everybody. It's time for more Law Light, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. We are situated in the high-rise white brick edifice and at 530 Frederica Street. PJ's on the other side, a slimmed-down version of him.
Hello.
Down to what?
You know, I forgot to weigh myself this morning, but when I weighed myself yesterday morning, it was 269, something like that.
Below the 270.
I haven't been in the 260s since probably the late 2010s, 2011, 2012, when the world was supposed to end the first time, or the second time. But yeah, so that's been my situation. But yeah, I actually had to go out and buy a new belt yesterday because the current belt that I had.
I saw you. Didn't you Facebook something about that?
Mm-hmm. I said, I have to buy a new belt. I guess the weight loss is working. And then someone got on there and said, well, it only works if you're buying a smaller belt.
Oh, there you go.
And I was. Yeah. I normally, my belt size is a 44, 46, and I had to go down to a 42.
How about that? There you go.
Yeah.
Well, man, good job. That's your body's going to thank you so much for what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
Awesome work.
I can already feel a difference, though, just like
going up and down stairs and things like that.
Yeah,
easier.
Going and getting boxes of the paper done has been. Right. I mean, I still get out of breath on things, but I guess mostly it's not drinking the sugary drinks, right. Cokes and stuff like that. That's been probably the biggest difference that I've noticed.
Yeah. Cuts down on inflammation and all kinds of things.
The downside, though, is that when you have a fuller face, it cuts out all the wrinkles and you look a little younger. But now that I see my face slimming, I can see some age. That must be it. I got to start eating again.
You know, for that reference to getting the paper, you know, you wear many hats around here, and we need you healthy to, you know.
Absolutely.
Wear those. You're not only the guy that, like our media arts video production, but you're also the paper boy.
It was funny. Kathy came to my office yesterday morning and said something about needing more paper. And then I said, okay, sure, I'll go grab it. And then she went away, and then she came back like 2 hours later. And I was in the middle of getting the camera together.
Oh, I got you.
And I was going to go out there to take some more photographs of the car in front of the building. And she's just staring at me. She goes, have you gotten the paper yet? And I go, no, not yet. And she goes, don't you think you need to go get it? And I go, Kathy, I'm going to be honest with you. I failed to see where getting paper is in my job description.
So that's what we have Davin for.
Yeah. Well, she was like, oh, I'll find your job description because I know where it's at, and I'll add it on there. And I said, okay.
She doesn't know where it's at. A couple weeks ago, Tyler was sitting across the desk from Amy.
Mm-hmm.
For those that probably never will see the area where we work, the secretary's desks are set up with a desk on the other side so the attorneys can come sit down and do work, you know. Tyler was sitting there, and Amy was going through mail and some stuff with him, trying to get him squared away, and she handed him a letter, and she said, this goes to Bossy Britches. Okay, so Tyler just thought the boss man, and he puts it in my desk chair, and I get it, and I'm like, what is this? This doesn't belong. And Amy goes, I told Tyler to put that in Bossy Britches' seat, and Tyler goes, I did. I put it in the boss's seat, and then she goes, no, I meant Kathy. So it's funny.
It happens.
Yeah. So, real quick, before we have a lot I want to talk about today. Some exciting news. Two things that are super exciting news.
Oh yeah.
But before we do, let's not forget that we're still in March Madness.
Yeah, we are
wrapping this thing up, and we got your bracket back today. I will give you the good news first. The good news is that one of your picks is still going. They're in the final four.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The bad news is The one that you do have alive in the Final Four, you do not have advancing to the national championship game, nor do you have them winning.
So I've hit a brick wall.
So you after Saturday, you'll be done. Your bracket will be finished. Dang. But the good news is that you do have Duke playing in the Final Four. So you can officially say, PJ, that the very first time you ever did a bracket, you did get one of the Final Four teams right. What we're going to do next year, I've already thought about this. We're going to have you pick a bracket the same way you did this year, just kind of for whatever reason bracket, right?
Right.
Based on however you want to pick it.
Okay.
Then we're going to pick a bracket where
you mean educated?
Well, it's not. Yeah, we've already established that you do not follow college basketball,
right?
And
or football,
right?
Or
so
soccer.
It can't be an educated pick because you don't follow it. You
right?
Know what I'm saying? Even the least, or read headlines or things like that. So the way you pick this one's going to be the way you pick the next one. Let's face it, right? You're not going to brush up on college basketball, So next year, though, we're going to have you fill out yours the way you do. And then we're going to have a bracket where we flip a coin. We'll say heads is this team, tails is this team, and we're just going to let the coin toss pick the bracket, and we'll see if you beat random chance.
Okay.
Okay? We'll see if you beat random chance.
Sounds good. We can do that. Yeah.
All right.
That'll be interesting.
So you need Duke to win tonight, or I keep saying tonight, Saturday. You need Duke to win, but then your bracket will be finished.
That'll be it.
All right.
There goes that $5.
You didn't even have to pay. You didn't put it in the contest.
But I still feel like I lost $5.
You didn't lose $5. You didn't lose anything. I've been itching to discuss a topic with you.
Okay.
And it's because this is sort of right up your bailiwick. Okay.
All right. That sounds inappropriate.
Yeah. There's nothing bad about bailiwick.
Well, I've never even heard that word before.
You've never heard of bailiwick? It's
no.
the word of the day.
What is that?
It's kind of like your specialty. It's your thing. It's your.
Oh, my wheelhouse.
It's in your wheelhouse.
Okay.
Right?
All right. I've never heard bailiwick before.
It's your bailiwick.
Okay.
All right.
Must be a Florida thing.
No, it's just an age thing. Okay. All right.
I wasn't going to say that, but
should have.
Hey, I just turned 40, so I'm getting there.
Wow, rookie. We had this little award show the other night on TV.
Oh yeah,
for movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's named after some guy.
Oscar.
Oscar, right? What's Oscar's last name?
Martinez.
There you go. If you wouldn't have known that, I would have really been shocked, right? Okay, so anyway, Oscar, the Oscar Awards.
Wait, do you think I was being serious that it was Martinez?
Yeah, right.
No, Oscar Martinez is a character from The Office.
I know.
Okay.
I was being funny.
I thought you were being serious.
What's Oscar's real last name?
What? Well, that's just it. I don't even think is it based off of a guy named Oscar? Because from what I'm to understand, the statue is based off a guy from like Guatemala.
Yeah, but why would it be called the Oscars?
I don't know.
So let me get this right.
I don't know why it's called the. I'm assuming it probably is a guy named It's probably like Oscar Johnson or something.
Well, let's find out.
I'm sure it's a dude named Oscar.
Well, let's just find out. We're gonna Google right now. Google. Why are the Oscars called the Oscars? And this telling Oscar is a reference to Oscar Hammerstein Sr., whose son would go on to write the lyrics for Showboat, Oklahoma, and The King and I.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
Learn something new every day.
Well, you should know something like that since you're a big movie guy.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't know everything. Did you actually watch the Oscars?
No, I woke up to the news.
Okay.
Okay. But things were moving along quite well.
Mm-hmm.
The way I understand it, and then I'm going to let you chime in here.
Okay.
Okay. The way I understand it was that the host or the MC for the evening was Chris Rock.
Yes.
Correct. Chris Rock made some type of a reference. I'm not going to say it was a joke. Maybe it was a joke, but it was in reference to Will Smith's wife. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And something about was it G.I. Jane?
G.I. Jane 2.
2.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And I guess alluding to her hair. From reading, I've seen that apparently Will Smith was kind of laughing at the joke, and then his wife, Jada, kind of like rolled her eyes when the joke or the point that Chris Rock was kind of reaching its climax of the joke, right? She kind of rolled her eyes or kind of made some type of a facial gesture, which some believe triggered Will Smith to get up, walk 20, 30 feet from the front of the stage to Chris Rock, right? Mm-hmm. And then open hand, like slap, like an open hand shot to Chris Rock's left side of his face.
Right.
And then walked back down the stage, took his seat, and said something about, you keep my wife's name out of your bleeping mouth.
Right. Twice. Yeah.
Says it twice. Now, I've read this, and I have seen a couple clips of it from different...
Have you seen the unedited version?
From other countries.
Okay,
Yeah. Japan.
Yeah, because the audio cut off in America.
Right. You can imagine on Twitter the next morning, everything was going crazy about
it was even before the morning.
Okay.
That night, it was a storm on social media.
Right. There are a couple of camps, okay? And the most recent one I read this morning while I was at the doctor's office, I was reading. There's a couple of camps, and one was it totally unscripted, came out of the blue. Neither of them knew this was going to happen, and it was really Will acting on emotion for some reason, tripped his trigger, and he did this.
Right.
That's one school of thought. The other school of thought is that it was scripted but carried it a little too far. You know, like there was some type of a... And then this morning I actually read, and I don't know if you've read this, that there is a conspiracy theory that Pfizer is getting ready to launch a medication that apparently helps with alopecia, and they knew they're getting ready to launch this, and so they wanted this to be...
Like a major talking point that gets it in everybody's mind.
Right. That's going to be happening. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. That could just be people...
Everything has a conspiracy.
Right. You, I'm sure, have watched it. I know I heard you. I walked into the office that next morning, and you were discussing it with a couple of the staff here.
Yeah.
What's your take on this?
Well, it's funny because, I was talking to Amy and Kelly about it, and I think John was in there too. People have been saying it's the slap heard around the world. You know, one of the first things I said is I think people who can't take a joke are worse than people who can't take a hit.
So now what did you mean by that?
To me, a joke is a joke. Can jokes be carried too far to where it hurts people's feelings? Absolutely.
So you meant that Will Smith couldn't take the joke.
Right. And what I meant is that Will Smith and Jada should have just taken it on the chin because Chris Rock was doing his job.
Making the crowd laugh and
now here's
making references to new movies and things like that.
Right. I'm not saying that every joke is 100% right, but the way I look at humor is, and this is a person.
We've discussed this before.
Like I use humor to normalize and be able to discuss and even feel better or to create levity with very serious situations. Or
this goes back to like early in our podcasting where you told the joke about, I think it was the first time we did Street Brawl,
right?
Right. You talked about in middle school that you would use jokes to get you out of situations where it could have been violence.
Yeah. I mean, look, there was, I don't remember exactly what episode it was, but many moons ago on an episode, I made a Hitler joke. Now, I can understand where it might offend somebody, but at the same time, it's a joke, and we are far removed from Hitler. But even if we're not far removed from Hitler, because there's still white supremacists and there's still the KKK and stuff like that, I wasn't making that joke because I support them or I'm trying to hurt someone's feelings. If the context behind what I'm saying is not meaning to hurt someone,
like the Jews,
then it shouldn't.
The Jewish culture.
It should not be. It should not be taken as such. I mean, sometimes, I mean, it was kind of like a shock value, uncomfortable joke, but still a joke at the end of the day.
Right.
It wasn't me having an opinion and being like a Holocaust denier. Right. To me, I mean, that's wrong.
Well, okay. So back to so you made this statement that you basically essentially says people got to learn how to take a joke.
Yeah. I get it's uncomfortable, but you need to have a certain sense of humor about yourself.
Okay, so you think that it was inappropriate for Will Smith to get up out of his seat, to walk across the stage, and to hit Chris Rock?
I don't think it was right that he did that.
Right.
I understand people get caught up in their emotions and they do things that are stupid. Truthfully, I did something very similar 3 nights ago.
You slapped somebody?
No.
Okay.
I made a very rash decision based strictly off my emotions. I allowed my emotions to guide me to do something, and it was something that was that is something I've never done before and uncharacteristic of myself.
So you didn't learn anything from Will Smith?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I didn't. But what happened with me, it wasn't a joke. It has something to do with my personal crisis. But anyway, I allowed emotions to drive my actions. And what I did, I fully admit was wrong. And I have learned from my decision, and I won't ever do it again. That's part of it too. That's part of just living. Like, we can all make a mistake. It's once you make that mistake and you recognize it, you need to be able to admit it. And it's not easy to admit that you make a mistake or that you're wrong.
Well, the problem that I had with the entire thing is that literally, this is not an exaggeration, literally seconds before the man walks up onto the stage, he's laughing at the joke.
Yeah, he didn't slap Chris because he was offended by the joke that he made. I'm sure when the camera cut away, we didn't get the look that Jada was giving Will because Will was laughing, and he realized that, oh crap, she's pissed and probably pissed at me.
So
and then he
reacts.
And then he reacts because he thinks, oh, this is the course correction to take.
Think about the statement it would have made for a second. As he's walking up the stage, he realizes this is I want to hit him, but this is like, I can't hit him. If he walked up and said, can I have your microphone for a second? Anyway, if he walked up and said, I walked up here with the intent to hit you because I'm very upset about that joke. There are a lot of people that could be offended who are dealing with this disease. And I know you got a job to do, but man, sometimes, think about the statement that would have made.
Absolutely.
Number one of the things that I think gets lost in this is that the movie that he wins the Oscar for the Williams sisters, right? Mm-hmm. And being the one that stood, their father who stood up for them and loved them and defended them through all this, right? And this was a big night for them, the real sisters who the movie was about, and it was a big night for. Think about if he walked up there angry and was able to restrain that anger and just make that comment, man, I came up here with the intent to hit you. I don't want to do that, but that joke really can hurt a lot of people. Now, it still would have gotten a lot of buzz. It's still because it was off script, right?
Right.
But I think it would have been such a better way to handle.
Oh, absolutely. There's several different ways he could have. I mean, he could have even went up there because the whole thing was still funny and a joke. Everybody was laughing. Like, it was a great moment until everyone realized, oh, wait a minute, Will Smith just went out of his head,
And what about the way Chris Rock responded to Will?
I thought that was, I thought he did a great, yeah. You could tell for a split second when he goes, oh, I could, okay. And you could tell he was like wanting to retaliate, and he controlled himself, which is what Will didn't do. And it would have exacerbated the situation. So he literally took it on the chin.
Well, let me shift this into a different gear.
You mean assault?
No, yeah, well, my question is this. Why haven't there been charges yet? Or why hasn't there been anything else like legal?
From what I'm to understand, Chris Rock and Will Smith are friends. They've known each other for a very long time. We, as the public, we don't see inside. We only see what the media allows us to see inside their life.
But doesn't something need to be done? Either they come out together and say we've made amends,
yes,
or Chris Rock says no, that was assault, and I'm filing charge. I mean, something needs to come. There needs to be.
Chris Rock apparently came out yesterday. I didn't read the article, but I did see the headline where he came out and he said that he's still trying to process what happened. And I know Will Smith came out the next day and did a Twitter apology, but that's cold. That's a cold apology. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, he could have been taking a poop while he did it.
My whole thing too is like when he gave his acceptance speech. I listened to that too. I obviously didn't watch the Oscars, but I was just like, I'm not listening to anything you say right now because all of this about defending the people you love,
Well, actions literally speak louder than words.
Exactly right.
And what he did to Chris Rock before his speech literally undermined the entire purpose of what he was saying.
Right. Oh, I agree.
And so, yeah, he shot himself in the foot. And it's been interesting to see people's reactions to that because there are a lot of people that have come out in support of Will Smith and said that his speech made him cry and all that. But they talked to John Leguizamo at the Vanity Fair after party, and what he said was he thinks that the whole thing was unfortunate that, he believes Will could have handled it in a different way, because what he did, it was wrong against it wasn't just wrong against Chris Rock, it was wrong against his own. It compromised how people look at Will Smith. It made everybody in the room there uncomfortable. The whole thing, it was bad for everybody. It brought bad light to the Academy. And, the whole thing was, it threw everything off. And now his win is going to be tarnished because
forever remembered for this.
Right. So anytime now in the future, in a movie, when it says Academy Award winner Will Smith, people are going to go, oh yeah, that's the one where he slapped Chris Rock. Like that's immediately.
He's always going to have an asterisk.
Yeah. People are always going to think of that. Now, with a lot of things and with time, it'll fade and probably not be as bad after a while. Because time can heal most wounds, I think. But I agree with you. I think in the moment, Will acted purely, if it's not a conspiracy theory and it wasn't planned.
No, that was my next question. Is there any side of you that thinks those two knew it was going to happen?
Partially, and this is why. And I've gone back and forth in my own mind about it, because I'm like, when he saw Will Smith coming up there, I know he was kind of, probably in his head, he was thinking, he's not going to do anything, surely, on live TV. But they also know each other, so he wouldn't think that Will would, attack him. So he probably would, if it wasn't scripted, he's thinking this whole thing is just kind of a joke. He's going to come up here and, roughhouse with me. It's going to be a funny little moment that gets picked up and talked about, and then he's going to go back and sit down. So I noticed, as Will is approaching him across the stage, my inclination, if that was happening, is I would step back and kind of put my hands out, because even if I know someone's joking around, you still want to be able to kind of defend yourself, right? Because you don't really know what's coming, even if it is playful. But that's not what Chris Rock does. Chris Rock sticks both his arms behind his back, and he kind of leans forward a little bit.
Closed his eyes.
Yeah, and I thought that was a bit bizarre. And then of course Will goes for it, and then slaps him instead of punches him. And it wasn't. And the other thing too that was bizarre is it wasn't like a full on in his face slap. It was like his fingers kind of caught his chin, so it wasn't a full slap. It was like a half slap. And then if you look at the snapshots from the photographers after it happens, as they're both turning towards each other, Chris is looking out and laughing, and Will Smith kind of has like a smile on his face. But right after that, if you're watching the footage, those moments are fleeting because they go very fast. And then as Will's walking back across the thing, it almost looks like he's struggling between trying to look mad and then trying not to smile.
Right. I agree with you.
But then it got genuinely awkward after that. And I think that's what brings the air of legitimacy to what happened.
When he yelled at him?
Yeah, so up to the slap and back down to the chair, it just doesn't seem, it seemed like there could potentially be more there. But then once Will sits down and starts screaming and cussing, which is directly against FCC regulations, and he knew he would get in trouble. But then at the same time, he's Will Smith. Now, an article came out that said that the Academy said that afterwards they approached Will, I guess during the break, and they asked him to leave because of his behavior, and he refused. Isn't that what security is for? I don't care if he's Will Smith. You have security there for a reason.
Right.
So if the Academy says leave, how can you just refuse doing what they ask?
Yeah, it's a bizarre. The whole thing is bizarre.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. But I will say I'm thankful for the memes that have come out of it.
Oh, there have been some great memes.
Yes. Some that are great. So anyhow, I wanted to talk to you about this because I had heard you kind of getting into it back there and all that, and I knew that this would be something that you would look at closely.
Yeah.
And who knows, right? Maybe there'll be more come out about it. It'll come out. If there's charges or no charges or finally an apology, that's a kind of a big thing, or they come together.
Right.
Anyhow, we'll keep an eye on that. Couple of things real quick before we shut this one down. We at least once a month, maybe twice a month. We'll be recording the episode, but also doing it live at a different location.
Yep.
We are going to be, we were thankful for Dee's Diner.
Yep. And their food is awesome.
Yes, it is.
They have some amazing bacon.
And pancakes.
They put their pancakes in a pizza box.
I know, right?
They're so big.
Right, right. So this place,
awesome.
We're going to be doing some episodes at breakfast and some episodes at lunchtime. And when we think next Thursday, a week from today,
we're tentatively planning.
Will be our first one, and that will be at lunchtime. And then we will probably try to get on some kind of a schedule. We are thankful that they would even entertain the idea of having us.
Absolutely.
We think it's going to be a great thing to, we'll be bringing on some of their people from time to time just to say hi to everybody. We will be getting our guests now. We'll try to bring our guests over to Dee's Diner when we do guests. And so we're real excited about that. Something we've been talking about wanting to do. And you've been the one kind of leading the way on that. So the podcast, at least once a month, maybe twice a month, we'll be heading to On Location at Dee's Diner.
That's right. So if you want to come see us and say hi, you'll know where we're at.
Right.
Next Thursday, just remember, no shirt, no pants, no shoes, no service.
Is that really all that's on there?
I think it's no shirt. I think it's no shirt.
Yeah, the
no
pants. The pants thing threw me off.
But some people may not wear pants.
So another thing about Dee's Diner is if you take a mug from your business in there, they will use it to serve coffee in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah, they don't have matching mugs. They have mugs from different places.
Right.
Businesses.
Well, that's cool.
So we're going to take a few of our mugs in there and use that as a advertising.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're having mugs made. We're having some new cups made for everybody, water cups to keep at desks.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Hand out to friends and getting pens made and all kinds of stuff. So
I'm learning a lot today.
But that's not all we've had made.
Yeah.
We've had something else made, a car.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. So here's the deal, PJ.
Uh-huh.
As you know, you've taken some really good photographs of the car.
Thank you.
Sent those off to the media folks.
Indeed.
And we're going to be doing a competition. It's going to be a weekly competition. We're going to probably do this for a couple of months. Okay.
Okay.
We have a car that's wrapped. You'll see it on social media. When we say it's wrapped,
it's not hard to miss.
It's not hard to miss. It's the crash scene investigation car.
CSI.
It's got yellow and black checkerboards along the sides.
Mm-hmm.
It's got our firm name on it in 4 or 5 locations with phone number and things like that. And it's got a big magnifying glass. And inside the magnifying glass is a crash car, 2 crash cars, the people. And it's a really, really great. Thanks to the folks at DMC Graphics
for
their
an awesome
job on that. And we are going to, PJ drives that car around town.
Mm-hmm.
And as PJ drives the car around town, we want people to take a picture of where they see it, or if they'd like, they can get their picture taken with the car.
That's right.
Post it on Facebook or Instagram. Like us, follow us, and tag us. And we will draw the names each week. We're going to start this campaign, I believe, Monday of next week. Or Sunday it'll officially kick off. But if somebody will do that, their name goes into a drawing. We draw the name of these people. We'll let PJ draw the name, and
no pressure.
We'll pull that name out, and the winner will get a $50 gas card.
Oh wow!
And we'll be doing one a week for a couple of months. So there'll be probably 6 to 8 gas cards available, depending on when they get this kicked off in social media when we start.
Right.
Excited about that, and we will remind people on the show that they need to be on the lookout. You drive the car all over the place, right? I mean, and when you do, you try to park it in a place that's easily seen. It's out front here in the office. If you want to take a picture of it there and put it on Facebook, that would be awesome.
You know what else would be cool? This just popped up into my head. But since we're working with Cromwell, how cool would it be to do random drawings, like just, and we don't have to do it all the time, but maybe like once or twice, where for an hour I'm camped out in a very specific spot and they're talking about it on the radio, where they say, hey, here's the deal. You have 1 hour, and if you see the car, it's parked somewhere in town. If you see it, you got to go up, take a picture with the car, with the guy, tag and put it on Facebook, and the first one to do that wins a gas card.
That'd be cool too. So kind of like a
They're
they
like
could give hints about where you're at,
like throughout the hour.
Right, throughout the hour.
Yeah.
Right, and then finally announce it. So for what we could do is like for an hour and a half, we could say the car is parked at this location, then give you hints about, and it could be parked at somewhere else where Cromwell already has them as a customer. Like they do all of Jerry Ray Davis's work, they do all of Dan Hour's work. They do, at places where we could park it at places so it kind of get 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Great idea, PJ.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah. So yeah, we're lots of stuff exciting. Now the whole reason behind all this and it's how we'll close is, like I mentioned in the last podcast, we really are trying to get the word out to the people in our listening area and in Owensboro surrounding counties and Bowling Green surrounding counties, Madisonville surrounding counties, that what we do is important for people. Just this week I resolved a case. It was a medical malpractice case, and it was a case where when I took the case, I really didn't think that my client would be living when the case was resolved. That's how bad the error was.
Oh, wow.
And, I know that there's not a rock that we haven't turned over, there's not an I we didn't dot, a T we didn't cross in that case. And it paid off. It was a good result. But the whole reason we're trying to really get creative in the way that we market the firm, like through a podcast at Dee's Diner or through a car that has graphics on it, is because we believe that we genuinely are the best at what we do. And we believe that people need our guidance when they've been involved in car wrecks or medical negligence or been injured in a way that may bring liability upon someone else. And we don't just say that. We're trying to put our money where our mouth is. We're trying to get that word out in a way that's not the traditional methods that all sound alike and look alike, because we're serious about doing a good job for people.
Right.
And so we're excited about the car being in town and advertising the firm. We're excited about the podcast going to Dee's Diner, where we can be among people and let them see what we're doing and that type of thing. And we'll have some of our promotional material with us at those places to hand out to anybody that asks us what we're doing. And but we're excited, and this is what we're going to keep doing to try to get the word out, to fight the television commercials that are out there and the billboards and things like that just try to always lead people to maybe the bit more corporate type firms that are bigger and really aren't local and care about our people. So that's what we're doing, and we're going to continue onward.
Exciting. I'm excited.
Thanks for driving the car around.
No problem. Thanks for letting me drive the car
sure,
around.
Man. That's awesome. I just love it being out front. That's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, it looks good out there.
It
Plus,
does.
it's nice because now I get literally get the front parking space.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been Done Lite, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and we also have a very helpful website, FWHlegal.com. Until next time, thank you for listening, and we look forward to helping you if you need a good lawyer.
This case should never have come to trial.
I don't think it's fair to call my clients frauds. Because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Your Honor, we would like to withdraw our plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery of a sham, of a mockery of a travesty of two mockeries of a sham.
If we are to have faith in justice, we need only to believe in ourselves.
And the truth shall set you free!
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Oh, guilty, but with a real good excuse.
I think the truth will come forth.
You can't handle the truth!